Welcome to Neppy Invests the World. I'm your host, Michael Nepp, and today I'm fairly excited because I'm bringing you a new feature of this channel, and that is Neppy's Obscure Stock of the Day. One of the things I really love about investing is finding these kind of companies, these unloved, little known companies that there could be a bit of a price mismatch between the valuation and what you have to pay to buy a little bit of the company's shares. So today I'm getting stuck into a company called TPC, and that company is listed on the ASX. The code is TPC. Share price today is $1.12. It's gone up a little bit. So full disclosure, I am a shareholder of TPC. I bought a few days ago. I'll say 95 cents. They have a fairly low market cap, 11.8, but if you just see below that, PE ratio of 5, and they do have a dividend yield. I'm not sure if that's real, but you can say, oh yeah, the last dividend was paid in 2017. But still, PE ratio of 5, market cap of about 12. So when I found this company in about 6 months ago, fairly exciting, I thought, based off their financials, some bit of growth, but a few things or negative things I did find. So what does this company do? Now, I went back into time in the ASX announcement to find this announcement from 2014, and it's talking about a company called Tel Pacific, which is actually TPC. They changed the name. So Tel Pacific was in the sort of business of prepaid calling card, and they sold the prepaid calling card business to another company for about $19 million. And then at the same time, they announced they were getting into the electricity and gas retail market. They were given permission to enter that market by the regulators, Australian Energy Regulator, and their wholly owned subsidiary CoverU Pty Limited would be in that field, and this is their website, the Cover AU website. So that looks like they do have operations in Victoria, New South Wales. They're hoping of developing or starting a business in Queensland, but I'm not sure if that's come to fruition yet. I've never heard of them, but they are only one of 7 companies that offer both electricity and gas in New South Wales and Victoria. So there's some big players there like Origin, AGL. But yeah, so the next slide here is just an overview of the Australian energy market. This is from one of their presentations from 2016. Gives a little bit of a clue of where they're the players. So you have the electricity generation, and then that's AGL and Origin, obviously the biggest players in that. Transmission, distribution, and then in the retail side, that's where CoverU fits in, along with all these other big names like AGL, Origin, Energy Australia. So as we go through into time, they do produce a little bit of revenue. I think 44 million last half, but in the start of 2017, they did release a rare announcement highlighting the potential impact of unexpected events, which these unexpected events increase the wholesale price of electricity and gas. And they are highly dependent, TPC is highly dependent on the wholesale price of electricity and gas. If it's high, their margins are going to be impacted to the negative side. And if wholesale price of electricity and gas is low, then positively their margins will be increasing. So we want to see wholesale prices decrease of electricity and increase. In 2017, we saw a bit of a spike in those prices, and that did damage the TPC share price. Unfortunately, because about 4 months previous to this, in 2016 or the end of 2016, they said they were going to be becoming profitable. Market did not like that one little bit. So 6 months ago, in 26th of February, they did release the latest results, and the market did get a little bit excited about this. very small portion of the market. Just see revenue, they're bringing in 44 million in a half. That's a fair bit of money. And EBITDA went up 2,448%. So revenue went up 13%, but EBITDA went up 2,448% from 192,000 to 4.9 million. Profit went up 1,222% from 186,000 to 2.5 million. And operating cash flow went from a negative 1.2 million to positive 1.8 million. So a good financial report here, but just one financial report doesn't mean things have turned around and it's looking good. But this did raise my eyebrows, but there was something else that sort of went the other way. It went, oh no, that's not good. And that's when I looked at the share price action for the previous year or so. In fact, you can see here, there's no candlesticks here. So in the last part of 2019, and what that actually means is there was not one single trade in October, November, December of TPC. So not one single share was traded in that time. That's the very definition of a highly illiquid company, when if you want to get out, you just can't get out unless you force the share price down, because there was no buyers, no sellers, and even if you just want to buy a little bit of a stake, you just couldn't get anything. We did see a bit of a spike in the share price and volume on the release of the half-yearly report. Share price went up 25%, but then 2 weeks later, there was still no activity, and share price went down again to below the share price from when it increased. So it went down 23%. And just staggered along for the next 3 or 4 months during the coronavirus, the peak, although the coronavirus peak in the last month or so, but I suppose the peak fear. And then end of May and June, we saw activity start to really increase. In fact, over the last 14 days, we've seen TPC share price, or the shares being traded on 13 of the last 14 days. So it's gone from a highly illiquid to a much more liquid stock. It's not highly liquid. It's not like Telstra or the banks where you can get in and out in a second. But definitely we've seen liquidity increase, which is a good sign. And I have a feeling the reason why we're starting to see liquidity increase is because what's happening in the wholesale sector. So this is this is Tasmanian wholesale prices. But I'll just go to New South Wales wholesale prices. We did see a peak. So this is wholesale energy or electricity prices. We'd see a peak in the quarter 1. That's more likely going to be in January, where we see increasing prices because of the bushfires. But the last quarter 2 in 2020, we saw a definite decrease. In fact, one of the lowest periods for quite a few years. And we see that sort of action throughout all the states. So what we're seeing is wholesale prices of electricity have pulled back a lot, have decreased a lot, and that can only be beneficial for TPC because their margins will have increased. They did mention in their half yearly that usually the first half of the year is their best half and the second half won't be as good. But I think the reason why the market's getting a little bit excited about TPC, we're starting to see more activity buying and selling, especially in the buying side, is because people are noticing, some smart cookies are noticing that the wholesale price of electricity is going down, and that's only going to be beneficial for TPC. So I'm very interested to see what happens in the yearly report when it should be released in the next few days, because they have to release it by the end of this month. So hopefully I've taken a small stake, and hopefully the thesis plays out that their profits have increased. And if profits have increased based off their market cap of 11 million, EBITDA last quarter of 4 million, we could see the share price or this company re-rate to the high side. And it could go up a fair bit, could go up 300-400% if everything plays out rightly. My only concern with a company like TPC, just like a mining company, they are price takers. They're wholly reliant on what the price the market gives them, the wholesale price of electricity in this case. And if the wholesale price of electricity, starts going up again, they're going to be impacted. But up until then, I'm happy to hold and just see how it plays out. And that's it for today for Nepi's Obscure Stock of the Day. And just a disclaimer first, look, I am not a financial advisor, so don't run out and buy TPC just based off what I've been talking about. I am not an expert, I'm not a professional, and if you are in need of some financial advice, please go speak to a financial advisor so they can help you. This is just for entertainment purposes. You can all laugh at me when TPC share price drops 50% in the next week or so, but I'm okay with that. It's all a learning experience for me. So have a good day, and I'll speak to you later on Nepi Invest the World. Talk to you later. Bye.